Some of the most desirable places to go birding are those that are difficult to access. Sometimes this is due to difficult terrain, sometimes it's due to the part of the world that it's in, and other times it's due to the fact that it's on private property. Fortunately, some of these places are still accessible during certain times of the year, or well accompanied by a guide. One such place is King Ranch in South Texas, a location that is home to an owl species that is incredibly hard to find anywhere else in the country. It's currently dark and early in Texas, and we are about to go on a trip to hopefully see Ferruginous Pygmy-Owl, which is what I would say one of the species in the United States that is very difficult to find unless you get special access to one of the places they are or know some secrets about where they are. So we heard that this is going to be challenging to find these owls. The grass is really high and it kind of conceals them when they're in the bushes. So it's going to be difficult, but we're with some people that should hopefully know where they are. So let's see if we can get Ferruginous Pygmy-Owl. King Ranch, which is located in South Texas, consists of 825,000 acres of land and is the largest ranch in the country. Amazingly, in terms of square mileage, it's actually larger than the entire state of Rhode Island. The ranch has a long and intriguing backstory and still operates today as an actual ranch. It also operates as a major hotspot for ecotourism, with many unique animals calling the space home, including many of the region's specialty birds. With the Rio Grande Valley Birding Festival going on, we were able to join in a bus trip to King Ranch to experience what a tour there is like, and hopefully get our lifer Ferruginous Pygmy-Owl. After an early morning bus ride, we got to the ranch entrance.
Entering ranch now.
Driving on a road going right through some dry, scrubby habitat, we spotted birds from the bus, including many eastern phoebes. While we were seeing some different species, birding by bus was proving to be challenging.
You ready to get off the bus?
I'm ready to get off the bus. Birding by bus is kind of tricky, I'm not gonna lie. Luckily, we spotted a bird that warranted a bus stop. We actually have a really nice white-tailed hawk out here, and it's being incredibly cooperative, which the species isn't always like that, but it just gave great views for everyone to see. A really classic South Texas bird species. This brief stop actually proved to be quite fruitful, as we spotted a crested caracara, a Harris's hawk, and a tree that had a paradoxia, a loggerhead shrike, and a northern mockingbird all sharing the branches and in a single frame. After a short time of looking at these birds, we continued on the bus until we reached our first scheduled stop, where we would have a chance at finding a Ferruginous Pygmy-Owl. We're now walking into the habitat where we should hopefully get a chance to find Ferruginous Pygmy-Owls, and this is some long grass we're walking into. There's a lot of insects here that want to bite you, so ticks and chiggers. Chigger bites are nasty, and ticks can carry a lot of diseases, so they actually told us to tuck our socks over our pants to try to eliminate some of the possibility that we get bit on the legs.
Spray bug spray.
We sprayed a lot of bug spray too. Walking with the big group and trying to avoid any potential biting insects, we spotted a number of species, including golden-fronted woodpeckers, green jays, and Audubon's orioles, a rare species in the United States. We ended up reaching a spot where we hoped one of the owls would turn up. We did see some black-crested titmice, more eastern phoebes, and warblers, but no owls.
So we just wrapped up our walk here, but we're going to another spot that should be our best shot for Pygmy-Owl, so hopefully that's where we get them.
We jumped back onto the bus and kept driving the roads, still looking out for interesting birds en route to our next stop. One of these birds was a Harris's hawk, which was nice enough to perch close to the road. Getting a really nice look at a Harris's hawk right now, and a bunch of the people in the bus all saw it at the same time and basically screamed to stop the bus, and it put on a pretty nice show. It's just sitting up there, plain view, really nice bird that you can see in the valley, and I think everyone was really happy about it. Another interesting bird we found was a greater roadrunner that was also surprisingly perched up in a nearby tree. Eventually, we arrived at the spot where we had the best chance of finding an owl. If we didn't find it here, we would most likely not be seeing it at all this trip.
So we are now all gonna go around and look for the Pygmy-Owl, and it could be anywhere in these trees. We can't use playback because they are threatened, so hopefully one of us finds it.
At first glance, the area seemed extremely quiet, with just a black-throated green warbler being a bird of interest. After a number of minutes not seeing or hearing anything, hope was starting to wane. But then, we heard a sound coming from the dense vegetation. This was in fact the call of our target bird, the Ferruginous Pygmy-Owl. Raymond, one of the tour leaders, was somehow able to get a scope on the owl. The only downside is that it required some climbing through the bushes to get a look.
The group leader was able to triangulate the spot where this owl is, and now people are going in kind of one by one to try to see it. So if it hangs out in that same spot for a while, most people should get a shot, but I'm not sure if it will. So we'll just have to see what happens, I guess, if we can actually get a look at this pygmy owl.
One at a time, birders were ushered through the branches, getting looks at the pygmy owl through the scope, and somehow everyone was able to get a view, and even some photos and videos.
Dude, how'd you find that thing?
Mostly luck. But thankfully I've seen these birds so many times in Latin America, you get a little bit of an eye for them, you know. You're just looking for pattern breakup. You're looking for a clump rather than, you know, the tangle of branches. And found a bunch of titmice. They were kind of mobbing the area, golden-fronted woodpecker, so, you know, just basically let the birds find the bird for you, I guess, is the best way.
The word ferruginous means reddish or rust-colored, which makes sense for this particular owl species, as they can range from grayish to a deep rusty red. They have a white underside, with heavy streaking the same color as their back and head. Some of the most interesting features of the Ferruginous pygmy owls are their piercing yellow eyes and the fake eye spots on the back of their head. Ferruginous pygmy owls are extremely small, with a wingspan of under 12 inches and a weight of just 1.8 to 2.8 ounces. In spite of their small stature, these birds are fearsome predators, feeding on insects, reptiles, small mammals, and other birds. They have been known to even take down prey larger than themselves. Ferruginous pygmy owls are non-migratory and reside in a wide variety of habitats in South America and Mexico. In the United States, there are really just two places to see them: southeastern Arizona and South Texas.
We got the pygmy owl, and what's crazy is everybody got a look, and they were able to go back for as many looks as they want. So everyone was satisfied with their views. Got some nice video. What an amazing bird. I can't believe Raymond found that in there, and that's incredible to be able to locate that. It was looking pretty dark because we weren't hearing anything. The guy was kind of walking around, and Janice was like, well, let's see if we can find Audubon's oriole. In my head, that was kind of like, okay, we're done for owl. And then, bam, we got the pygmy owl. So it feels like a last-minute lifer. We still have a little more time on the tour, but like, I'm pretty sure that made the whole trip for everybody.
Have you always been a hero, or is that a new thing?
You know, I was born into it. I don't know what to tell you.
We went back onto the bus feeling excited and relieved that we had actually been able to find this difficult-to-locate species.
That was a pretty wild experience. It was looking really dicey that we weren't going to be able to see those owls, and then Raymond was able to track one down based on the call. So we did hear it making noise. Could have counted it there, but we wanted to get a look, obviously. Somehow found out how to get a scope view of that bird, and then everybody got to see it. So successfully found the Ferruginous Pygmy-Owl.
Just because we found the bird we were most interested in seeing didn't mean that the trip was over. We still had one more stop to make.
Well, we're out here now trying to find some Sprague's pipits, so that would be a lifer for me. Hopefully they're around someplace. Looks like the grass on this side's a little tall and this grass a little short, so I don't know. But we'll see what we can do.
This spot had a wide variety of birds content with being around humans and livestock, including brown-headed cowbirds and Eurasian collared doves. We did also get some views of the pipits as they flew from the field, although they certainly were not prolonged looks.
Sprague Pete.
Sprague's pipit. Second lifer of the trip so far.
Having spent the whole morning at the ranch, it was time to call it a day and officially bring the tour to a close. Overall, our time at King Ranch was great, as we found many amazing South Texas birds, with the most exciting of course being the Ferruginous Pygmy-Owl. We were lucky to have the chance to go birding on this private ranch, but fortunately, the ranch routinely gives tours to people that want to see these birds. If you're interested, you can check out the link in the description below. And if you want to see more from our South Texas birding trips, you can take a look at one of these videos. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.